Good afternoon and welcome everyone to the third of 6 in the Belfast Met Design Workshop webinar series, an introduction to design thinking. For anyone that needs to get in touch for more details on how Belfast Met can support your business, just email us at businessdevelopment@belfastmet.ac.uk or at E3BelfastMet on Twitter. Firstly, let me introduce myself. My name is Carlos Latcham, and I've been involved with the many aspects of product development for over 20 years. I've been an engineer and a designer in the aerospace, the automotive, the medical, consumer product, and heavy equipment industries. I've headed design teams as well as just being a cog in the development process in companies both large and small. I've managed projects from a few £100 up to over £1 million. Regardless of the size of the project, I find the process of problem solving very satisfying, and I get a great feeling when I see people benefiting from the products I help to create. I'm currently a design consultant with Belfast Met, as well as running my own product development consultancy, Dark Red Design, based here in Belfast. I would like to thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions during the webinar, please put them into the chat, and I'll do my best to answer them at the end if I can. So without further ado, let's get into it. So in the first webinar, we looked at design thinking and what it is. In the second webinar, we looked at tools for empathizing with users. And in this webinar, we'll look at tools for defining and ideating our product solutions. So product definition is a critical stage in the design thinking process that lays the foundation for the rest of the design and development process. By defining the key features and the characteristics of the product and understanding the needs and desires of its users, you can create products that are more likely to succeed in the marketplace and deliver value to those customers. The define stage is crucial in design thinking. It enables you to understand the purpose of your project and also to set a specific objective to pursue. By crafting a clear and actionable problem statement, you can guide your ideation process and work towards finding a solution. Without a well-defined problem statement, your work may lack direction and your final design may suffer. It can also be challenging to communicate your objectives to stakeholders and team members. So therefore, it's essential to understand the importance of the problem statements and learn how to define them effectively. So, what's the problem statement? Okay, the gap between the current and the desired state of process or product is identified in a problem statement. In the design context, this gap represents an unmet need of the user, which can be satisfied through a design solution, resulting in a positive user experience. The problem statement, also known as a point of view statement, frames the issue in a way that is actionable for designers, ensuring a focus on the user at all times. Point of view statements can take different formats, but they're all aimed to guide the design team towards a feasible solution. A well-defined problem statement should include the user, the problem or opportunity, the context or the setting, and the impact or outcome. By focusing on the user's needs and expectations, a well-defined problem statement provides a clear goal for your designers to work towards during the design thinking process. It also enables the team to stay on track and make informed decisions as they progress through the different stages of the process. And later on, we're going to discuss how to create a problem statement and consider some problem statement do's and don'ts. To create a meaningful problem statement in design thinking, again, it's essential to focus on the user and their needs rather than the product specifications or business outcomes. And I'm going to give you some tips to help you create a strong problem statement. Firstly, put your users first. Your problem statement should prioritize the user's need, avoiding phrases like "we need to" or "the product should." You keep it broad. Allow room for innovation and creative thinking, avoiding specific solutions or technical requirements, and make it manageable. Your problem statement should be broad, but also manageable and specific enough to guide the design thinking process towards a suitable solution. A good problem statement should be clear, concise, and specific. Describe the problem that needs to be solved accurately, and guide the process towards finding a solution that addresses the root cause. It sets the stage for creative problem solving and helps ensure that the final design solution meets the needs and expectations of the user. So, crafting a concise and effective problem statement can be a daunting task. Because it requires capturing the multifaceted needs and desires of users in a single actionable statement. Here, I'll give you an example of problem statement for a kitchen gadget. Many home cooks struggle with tedious and time-consuming tasks with chopping vegetables. It leads to inefficient meal preparation and potential injury from knives. Our objective is to create a kitchen gadget that streamlines the vegetable chopping process, reducing time, effort, and ensures the safety in the kitchen. The gadget will help busy individuals save time and increase enjoyment of cooking while also improving kitchen safety. And now I'm going to go through some proven techniques that can assist in this process and aid in distilling the complex information that you gather into a clear and focused problem statement. Space saturation involves creating a physical or digital space that allows designers to brainstorm and generate ideas without any constraints. The objective is to encourage free-flowing and uninhibited thinking and create an environment where creativity can flourish. During this process, designers can use various tools such as post-it notes, sketches, digital collaboration software. All these are used to capture their ideas and insights, and it's essential to saturate the wall or the whiteboard, whether it's physical or digital, with post-it notes and images, resulting in a collage of artifacts from user research. So this method involves everyone participated in the empathize stage of the design project and typically takes around 20 to 30 minutes. Here we have the 4 W's. To pinpoint the right problem statement, it's crucial to ask the right questions. Once you have all your findings from the empathize phase in one place, ask yourself the 4 W's. Who, what, where, and why. By considering these 4 W's, you can identify patterns in your user research and get closer to creating a meaningful problem statement. Who? This question helps understand the people or the stakeholders involved in the problem or challenge. It involves asking who is impacted by the issue and who needs to be involved in the situation. What? This is the question that helps understand the nature of the problem or challenge. It involves gathering information about the issue and its context, such as what's happening, what are the causes, what are the potential consequences. Then, where does the problem present itself? In what space? Is it physical? Is it digital? The situation or context is the user when they face this problem. Are there any other people involved, for instance? And there's why. This question helps understand the motivations and underlying factors driving the problem or challenge. It involves asking why the problem exists and why it's important to address it. By asking these 4 W's, you can gain a deeper understanding of the problem you're trying to solve and develop more effective solutions that take all relevant factors and perspectives into account. We're going to look at an example of this further on. So here's an example of 4W's technique applied to the problem statement for the kitchen gadget mentioned earlier. Problem statement is many home cooks struggle with the tedious and time-consuming task of chopping vegetables by hand, leading to inefficient meal preparation and potential injury from knives. Who are the users of the kitchen gadget? Home cooks who want to streamline the vegetable chopping process and improve efficiency in the kitchen. So what's the problem? Or what's the solution to the problem? A kitchen gadget that simplifies the vegetable chopping process and reduces time and effort required to prepare the meals. Where will the kitchen gadget be used? In home kitchens by people who want to save time and effort when preparing meals. And then why is the kitchen gadget necessary? Because it helps to improve kitchen efficiency and safety by reducing the risk of injury from knives and making the vegetable chopping process quicker and easier. Another effective strategy of problem solving and design thinking is the 5 whys technique. This approach involves asking a series of why questions to uncover the root cause of a problem or challenge. By identifying the root cause, designers can focus their efforts on addressing the underlying issue and go on to develop more effective solutions. To apply the 5 whys technique, you will ask why 5 times or more until you get to the root cause of the problem. By using the 5 whys technique, you can identify the root cause of the problem, which we're going to look at in the following example. So this is the 5 whys technique applied to the problem statement we mentioned earlier for the kitchen gadget we mentioned. So, problem statement. Once again, many home cooks struggle with the tedious and time-consuming task of chopping vegetables by hand, leading to inefficient meal preparation and potential injury from knives. So, first why? Why do home cooks struggle with the chopping vegetables by hand? Because it's tedious and time-consuming, sorry. And then the next why follows up. Why is it tedious and time-consuming? Because it requires manual effort to chop vegetables evenly. Again, why does it require manual effort and skill? Because high level of precision to chop the vegetables evenly, and it's difficult to achieve without practice. Why is it difficult to achieve without practice? Because most people don't have enough practice or training in vegetable chopping. Then, why don't people have enough practice or training in vegetable chopping? Because there's a lack of accessible resources or tools that can help home cooks improve their vegetable chopping skills. So, you can see by asking the why 5 times, we were able to identify the root cause of the problem, a lack of accessible resources or tools for home cooks to improve their vegetable chopping skills. And then we can go on to develop a solution to address it. And that solution is creating the kitchen gadget to streamline the vegetable chopping process and help to improve kitchen efficiency and safety. So, once you've completed the define phase, you'll have transformed insights and data gathered during the empathize phase into a clear and actionable problem statement. With a problem statement in hand, the idea is then to move on to the ideation phase, where you'll generate a wide range of potential solutions by using the how might we questions. The goal is to come up with as many ideas as possible without censoring or dismissing any ideas prematurely. So what is ideation? The ideation phase is an important part of the design thinking process where a team generates a large number of ideas to solve a specific problem or challenge. Now, the main aim is to think outside the box and create a pool of potential solutions. During this phase, it's crucial to suspend judgment and also avoid criticism to encourage the free flow of ideas. So, there are many ideation techniques such as brainstorming, mind mapping, sketching, and all these can be used to facilitate the process. Ideation is critical in generating innovative solutions, and it is an essential part of the design thinking process. So, why is it crucial? Why is it important? So, the ideation phase is a crucial step in the design thinking process that transitions from understanding the user and the problem to then go on and generate the solutions. This phase, it fosters innovation, and it also helps designers to question the obvious, and then go on to challenge the norms and generate all your ideas. So why think outside the box? Okay, the ideation phase, it's a safe space for designers to think outside the box. And we want you to come up with unconventional ideas. The focus is on venturing beyond the already been done solutions and accumulating unique perspectives and creativity from different people to ultimately innovate in ways that were previously thought impossible. So, if done correctly, ideation can lead to groundbreaking solutions for the user's needs. Before diving into ideation techniques, it's crucial to set the right tone for a successful ideation session or workshop. If you're planning one, there are several things you can do to prepare. Firstly, introduce a change of scenery. In order to foster creative thinking, it's crucial to step out of your usual setting. And this applies to your team as well. The physical space where you hold your ideation sessions can have a significant impact on the outcome. So to encourage unconventional thinking, try holding your session in a completely new location rather than at the usual boardroom, your meeting room, or desk. Even go outside your office building, completely outside the work environment. You'll be surprised how people have a tendency to take off their office head, so to speak, when they're not in the office or in a work environment. So by introducing new stimuli, you can stimulate new ways of thinking, which is the whole idea. And create a relaxed environment. So research has shown that both distractions and a relaxed state of mind can enhance creativity. Therefore, the most successful ideation sessions are those where participants feel comfortable and at ease. As I mentioned before, take them outside the office setting. Creating a safe space where people can freely share their ideas requires some effort to relieve any tension or anxiety that might hinder the process. So this can be achieved by incorporating icebreakers into the session, but don't force it. And this can help to bring the group together, stimulate creativity, and encourage open communication. To ensure that ideation is productive, it's important to steer the process in the right direction by using the first two stages of the design thinking process, which we've covered before, the empathize and the define phase. And to prepare for ideation, create a list of how might we questions related to the problem statement. This methodology frames the problem statement as an opportunity rather than an obstacle, and it breaks it down into actionable statements. The wording, how might we, suggests that the solution is possible, but it doesn't give any hints as to what that solution might be, allowing for lateral and innovation thinking amongst your team. So here we have some how might we questions pertaining to the previous kitchen gadget. How might we design a vegetable chopper that is easy to use and chop a variety of vegetables with different textures and densities? How might we create a vegetable chopper that can be easily disassembled for cleaning and is dishwasher safe? How might we incorporate safety features into the design of the vegetable chopper to prevent accidental injury? How might we make the vegetable chopper compact and easy to store? How might we develop a vegetable chopper that is environmentally friendly and reduces waste by using all parts of the vegetable? So now we have everything in place for your ideation session. There's just one thing left to do, and that's choose which of the ideation techniques choose which ideation technique that you want to use. And here we have some of the common ideation techniques, and we're going to have a look at them in turn. An analogy is a cognitive tool that transfers information or meaning from one subject to another by providing a comparison between them. In the context of ideation and design, analogies can be used to gain a new perspective on a problem or design challenge by comparing it to something familiar. To apply this technique, start by creating an analogy. What does your situation or problem resemble? What other areas of life or work share similar circumstances? And who performs similar actions in a different field? Analogies are typically structured using the phrase is like. So by creating an analogy, you gain a fresh viewpoint on your challenge and spark new ideas for potential solutions. Examples could be chopping vegetables is like karate, or changing a car tire is like putting on your shoes. Completed examples are in karate, every move and strike must be executed with precision. So, do we need to chop vegetables with accuracy to ensure even cooking? And in the car tire example, you retire your shoelaces when you feel they're loose. So, can we incorporate a sensor into the car wheel, which will alert the driver if a wheel is loose? Then we have body storming. And it's a creative technique that involves physically immersing oneself in a situation to generate new ideas. It can help develop genuine user empathy by simulating an experience similar to the problem at hand, using people, props, or a digital prototype. By engaging in physical interactions and observing the reactions to the environment, participants can generate more innovative solutions. This technique is commonly used in design and innovation to test and refine ideas collaboratively. Body storming allows for a more immersive and interactive experience that considers the practical constraints of the environment, leading to more effective solutions. Now we have brainstorming, which is a technique commonly used in design thinking to generate a large quantity of diverse and creative ideas in a short amount of time. It's a collaborative process that encourages your participants to contribute the ideas and build upon the ideas of others. The goal of brainstorming is to create an open and non-judgmental environment where all team members feel comfortable sharing their ideas, no matter how wild or conventional these ideas may seem. So this approach encourages the free flow of ideas and helps to ensure all perspectives are heard. There are different approaches to brainstorming, but the basic process typically involves the following steps. So we can see there we identify the problem to be addressed. We set a time limit for the session. We encourage team members to contribute their ideas, no matter how far-fetched. We build on these ideas of others, encouraging participants to combine and refine their ideas. We record all these ideas on a visible medium. And after the session, we review and prioritize the ideas that we've generated. So it's an important tool in the process. It helps the teams to generate a large quantity of diverse and innovative ideas, and these are used to develop effective solutions. Brainwriting is a creative and a collaborative technique that provides an alternative to brainstorming. So rather than verbally sharing the ideas, the participants, they write down their ideas before passing them on to someone else. This process, the idea is it continues until each person's ideas have done a full rotation. Then you collect them and place them in front of the group for discussion. The brainstorming ideation technique allows individuals to generate the ideas anonymously rather than as a group. And brainwriting provides a diverse and creative set of ideas. It's less intimidating for if you have anyone who's introverted or shy in your group who may feel uncomfortable sharing their ideas in a group setting. So brainwriting, it can be a useful tool for generating a large number of ideas quickly and efficiently. It promotes inclusivity and also collaboration. Brainwalking now, and that's a more dynamic and physical version of brainwriting. Again, it encourages the group to brainstorm through a structured and collaborative idea sharing session. And rather than passing pieces of paper around the room, the designers move between different ideation stations and then add their ideas at each one. So this allows individuals to share their thoughts and build upon others' ideas, like previously in the brainwriting, in a structured, inclusive way. By promoting collaboration, again, brainwalking, the idea is to lead to a greater variety of innovative ideas, and it fosters greater buy-in and commitment from the whole group. So here we're questioning assumptions. And this is a vital step. It can break away from the traditional thinking patterns and generating innovative ideas. One common technique is to identify assumptions that are inherent to the design challenge and evaluate whether they're truly necessary or if they've even been left unquestioned due to convention. By challenging the assumption, we can uncover new perspectives and alternatives that can lead to more diverse and creative solutions. Assumptions are beliefs or expectations that underlie our thinking and can often limit our creativity. So the process of challenging assumptions involves questioning those beliefs and those expectations to generate fresh ideas. To challenge these assumptions, we need to identify the assumptions we are making and then scrutinize them by asking questions such as, what if the assumption were not true? What if we approach this problem from a completely different angle? For instance, in designing a product for a particular market, we may assume that it requires certain features for success. However, by challenging this assumption, we might explore other ways of meeting the market's needs or creating a new market altogether by offering something unique. By questioning the assumptions, the idea is to unleash new possibilities and generate innovative ideas that we may not have considered otherwise. We want to help you break free from conventional thinking and develop something truly unique. So here's an example. The assumption: kitchen gadget for chopping vegetables needs to have a sharp blade-like component to be effective. What if we developed a vegetable chopper that used a completely different mechanism to cut vegetables, such as a press, like for garlic, or a punch, like a cookie cutter, or a cable, like a strimmer? By challenging these assumptions, the vegetable chopper needs to have a sharp blade-like component. We open up new possibilities for how we can streamline the vegetable chopping process. For example, we could develop a vegetable chopper that uses a press or a punch mechanism to quickly and efficiently cut the vegetables without requiring the user to handle sharp blades. So this could reduce the risk of injury and make the vegetable chopping process faster and easier. Mind mapping is a visual brainstorming technique that was developed by Tony Buzan in 1972. And this was to help individuals draw connections between different sets of ideas or information. It's widely used in design thinking and other creative problem-solving approaches. The process starts by writing a central keyword related to the problem statement in the center of a blank page or canvas. From there, you create branches radiating out from the center, each representing a subtopic, idea, or potential solution. Each branch then can go on to have its own sub-branches, forming a complex network of interconnected ideas. And by encouraging free association and creative thinking, mind mapping can help uncover connections and relationships between seemingly unrelated concepts. It's useful for generating and organizing ideas quickly and visually. Facilitates your brainstorming and your ideation sessions. It organizes the ideas and the information in a visually appealing manner, and facilitating the communication and the collaboration amongst team members. So ultimately, mind mapping results in a visual map that helps to guide further ideation and problem solving. Reverse thinking is a creative problem solving technique that involves flipping a problem statement or design constraint on its head in order to generate the new ideas. So rather than approaching a challenge in the usual way, reverse thinking encourages designers to consider the opposite or the inverse of the problem statement or constraint. For instance, if the challenge is to create a more user-friendly website, a reverse thinking approach would be to ask, how can we make our website as difficult as possible for users to navigate? The answer to this question can help designers envision what the opposite of the problem might be and can lead to unexpected insights and solutions. Reverse thinking is often used in design thinking to challenge assumptions and also to encourage innovative ideas. By considering the opposite of a problem statement or constraint, designers can break free from conventional thinking patterns and explore new opportunities for creativity. However, it's important to note that reverse thinking isn't always appropriate or effective for every problem. And this should be used in conjunction with other tools and techniques in the ideation phase of the design thinking process. So that brings us on to SCAMPER. SCAMPER is a mnemonic device, meaning a learning technique that aids information retention or retrieval. It's used to generate new ideas and solutions for a problem by asking a series of questions that encourage creative thinking and exploration. Each letter of the word SCAMPER represents a different question that prompts the designer to think about the problem or solution in a different way. SCAMPER is a checklist that helps you to come up with new ideas for a particular product or design challenge. SCAMPER prompts the designer to substitute. So what if we substituted one element of the problem or solution for another? For example, what if we replaced a traditional component of a product with a new material or technology? Combine. What if we combine different elements of the problem or solution to create something new? For example, what if we combine two different products or services to create something completely new? Adapt. What if we adapted an existing solution or approach to fit our needs? For example, what if we adapted a product design for one market or use case to fit a different market? Modify. What if we modified an existing solution or approach to make it better or effective? For example, what if we modified the design or functionality of a product to improve its performance and user experience? Put to another use. What if we use an existing solution or approach in a different context or for a different purpose? For example, what if we used a technology designed for a different industry to solve a problem in our own industry? Eliminate. What if we eliminated an unnecessary or ineffective element of the problem or solution? For example, what if we eliminated a feature of a product that was causing confusion or make it more difficult to use? Reverse. What if we reversed the order or perspective of the problem or solution? For example, what if we looked at the problem from the user's perspective instead of the company's perspective? By asking these type of questions, designers can unlock new possibilities and generate creative solutions that may not have been obvious at first glance. SCAMPER is useful for brainstorming, ideation, and problem solving in design thinking. So in a nutshell, SCAMPER is simple and it's effective for improving underperforming products. It encourages your design team to approach the product or your service from a different angle and helps spark inspiration, and it can turn a failing product into a profitable one. So SCAMPER promotes 7 approaches to address the customer's pain points. Makes it easy and a fast way to generate new ideas. So we touched on everything briefly. First step in SCAMPER was to consider whether a simple feature switch will address the problem or if a complete overhaul is required based on customer feedback. In the case of a complete overhaul, it is necessary to brainstorm alternative solutions that add value to the product, such as upgrading a process chip or computer to increase speed. However, there are no existing products that can help improve the product. Innovation is necessary, which could involve something as simple as changing the shape of the product or as complex as developing a brand new feature. So here, we've substituted cow's milk for nut milk. Another way of improving the product or service, as we said, is combining 2 innovative ideas and blending them into a feature. This may streamline the process, make a better product, or even offer a better value for money. For example, when tech companies introduced HD cameras to smartphones in 2010, sales increased from around 250 million units to 1,475 million in 2018. In the same time frame, pocket camera sales were as high as 1,100 million units, but has now slumped to 100 million units. One of the most critical steps in SCAMPER methodology is adapting a failing product or service, which is usually a more cost-effective solution than a complete overhaul. The main question to ask here is how to improve the user experience by tweaking or adapting the product. There are various ways to adapt a product or service. You can change the name, shape, color, form, or function, or a combination of these. Questions you can ask is how can we provide more value to the end user? What features of the existing product can be improved by making tweaks? Do you need to adapt your product to keep up with the market? It's also worth bearing in mind that the answer may be to adapt your marketing strategy rather than the product. Bubble wrap was originally designed as textured wallpaper. Modifying your product is a slightly different approach to adapting. Here, the changes you make unleash enhanced capabilities or resolve your customer pain points, which gives customers more reason to purchase your product. PayPal was originally envisioned as a cryptography company, and then later as a means of transmitting money via PDAs or personal digital assistants, before becoming the payment system it is today. In cases where none of the previous techniques yield a suitable solution, repurposing the product may be the next best option. However, it's important to note that this technique usually applies to a specific feature being substituted rather than the entire product. Questions you can ask include, does the feature still have any value? Is there a demand for the product or feature in the marketplace? Are there any products we can use now or in the future? What are the benefits of retaining or reusing the feature? Can the feature be used to penetrate other market segments? Or is it outdated? Or will it be outdated? Is it more cost-effective to repurpose or build a new one? Or can the design feature be used in another project? There are often possibilities to use products or features in other ways you might have missed, and this step can be useful in finding them. The blue pill that we all know from Pfizer was originally heart medicine, and the post-it note, which is the go-to tool for designers, was originally meant to be a strong glue rather than the weak reusable adhesive that's placed on the back of post-its. So instead of repurposing a failing product, another option is to eliminate a feature that is outdated or doesn't provide any value. This can be done gradually over multiple stages to simplify and focus on the most important part of the product. Apple eliminated the PDA feature of the iPod. Essentially, this step of SCAMPER technique focuses on reorganizing a failing product to improve its performance. But it could also involve a complete reversal of the current process or rearranging elements to create a smoother flow. So when the Switch was first released in 2017, it included a feature called 1-2 Switch, which was a collection of mini games that were intended to showcase the console's unique motion controls. However, many consumers and reviewers found the game to be underwhelming and not worth the price. So Nintendo recognized this feedback and decided to shift its focus to more traditional video games. So that leads us on to storyboarding, which is the visual tool in design thinking used to create a sequence of drawings, sketches, or images that convey a potential solution or design concept. It is typically used during the prototyping phase and helps identify potential issues or areas for improvement. The process involves identifying key user needs and pain points, defining the user journey, sketching out scenes or frames, and adding annotations or captions. The final storyboard should be clear, concise, and effectively communicate the intended user experience and design vision. A storyboard is a sequence of illustrations or images arranged in a panel format to depict a narrative, concept, or script. In design thinking, storyboarding is the process of creating a storyboard to visualize how your solution or design concept will work and how users will interact with it. While storyboards are commonly used in animation and film, they can be utilized in various situations. A well-executed storyboard strikes a balance between providing enough visual information to tell the story and avoid excessive detail. The level of detail can vary depending on the situation, time constraints, and the needs of the stakeholders such as team members or your clients. Using stories to convey information can be an effective way to communicate complex ideas, as they are more engaging than straightforward text. And adding visuals through storyboarding can further simplify communication and make it more accessible to a wider audience. Due to their adaptability, storyboards are widely used in different contexts. So, who can use the storyboards? Storyboarding helps ensure the message is clear and achieve its intended goal while saving money in the long term. The movie industry heavily relies on them, especially for animated films, while educators can use them as low-budget teaching tools to illustrate concepts that may be hard to remember without visual aids. Storyboards can be excellent when young children are the target audience of your product. They can be low budget and easy to create without a lot of resources. They can illustrate concepts that youngsters may have trouble remembering without a visual aid, like how to wash their hands properly or how to react in the case of an emergency. A storyboard can effectively convey ideas and ensure everyone is on the same page quickly. So, as humans process images faster than text, a storyboard can communicate concepts much more efficiently than written or spoken words. Additionally, storyboards can help refine your ideas before going into further production by illustrating how a script, concept, or user experience will look as visual scenes. To create a basic storyboard, you only need a concept, script, or story to convey through visualization. However, many comprehensive storyboards may include additional components such as dialogue or voiceover narration for each panel. To start your storyboard, begin with a simple approach. The first step is to create a script, your concept or user experience that you can elaborate on. Once you've got your narrative, you can start brainstorming different visual scenes to portray it. A 2-column chart can be helpful in this step. In one column, write down the script, and the other column, create rough sketches of what you could look like. Once you're satisfied with the chart, you can begin creating your storyboard, whether traditionally or digitally. So the ideation phase, we've learned, is essential, and it may require multiple sessions to identify and refine the ideas to proceed with. After ideation, the process moves to prototyping and user testing to evaluate and solve any issues. However, the design thinking process is not always linear, and sometimes prototyping may reveal the infeasibility of ideas, requiring a return to the ideation phase or even back to the problem definition. So remember to have fun, try out your various techniques, think creatively, and don't be afraid to think outside the box. So now let's have a Q&A. So please stick any questions you want into the chat. And as I said, I'll do my best to try and answer them. So any questions at all? Just go ahead and pop them into the chat. We have somebody's hand up. Do we have somebody's hand up? And Marie, do you need to speak? Or you can go ahead and put your question in the chat. Well, Sandra, thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yes, I'm glad you found it informative. And I hope everybody else found it informative. Okay then. Well, if we have no questions, oh, we do. From Anne-Marie Mullen, how does storyboard contribute to product design? Okay. So again, product design, if you're going to use a storyboard in terms of product design, we would tend to use it in terms of maybe the user experience. So you can convey your message of your product. So for instance, you're at the concept stage and you want to convey how somebody is going to approach the product. Instead of just telling them or discussing with them, you can create a small storyline about your product. So for instance, you can pick a name for your user, as we learned earlier about creating a persona. You can show this is Sandra entering the kitchen. And then you can have, she's walked into the kitchen, she sees the vegetables. If we take the example of the vegetable chopper, then you could have the next board showing Sandra is, feeling overwhelmed by the vegetables. And then the next stage, you can have a picture showing, oh, she's spotted your gadget, and oh, she's relieved. Then you can show a picture of Sandra using the gadget with the vegetables, a picture of her, an illustration of her feeling relieved by using the product. And then at the end, you can have her vegetables all nicely laid out in separate bowls. So you can convey that person's or that user's journey when they first encounter the issue, the problem, and how they encounter your product to solve it, and the feeling that the customer or the user gets after using your product. So that's how I use it. Yes, so unfortunately I joined late. Can this be emailed? I think I mentioned earlier that this should be available. If you can, yes, if you want to get in touch, email us at businessdevelopment@belfastmet.ac.uk or at E3_Belfastmet on Twitter. If even possibly leave your email in the chat or send it on to Mary-Louise. Okay, yeah, there we go. Mary-Louise will be adding YouTube. So, okay, when the series are complete, they'll be all uploaded to YouTube and you can peruse those at your leisure. Okay, Anne-Marie's asking another question. I hope my description helped you, Anne-Marie. Okay, there we go. Let me see. Did we have? I don't know if Anne-Marie has the link, or sorry, Mary-Louise has the link in to hand. Okay, yes. So we'll send the link when they're uploaded. Brilliant. Okay, well, I like the notion of taking my customers on a journey. Yep, Anne-Marie, that's what it's all about. Bringing them on a journey. And the idea is to give them a positive journey, a positive user experience, by illustrating it. As I said earlier, we as humans relate very easily with visuals, a lot easier than we do with text. So if you can provide a journey to the stakeholders visually, they can then relate to the user or the customer experience a lot easier than if you describe it to them, or even if it's printed in text. So go ahead. Any other questions? Any other questions? See it, Anne-Marie's typing away. No, okay. Okay, can you send the PowerPoint notes? Yes, as I said, I think Anne-Marie is, yep, there we go. We've got she's put the notes into the chat. Or the links into the chat. Okay, so in our fourth installment of our design workshop series, we will dive into the fourth and fifth step of the design thinking process, where we will introduce you to the tools which you can use to prototype and test your product concept ideas. So if you're new to design thinking, I hope you found this introduction insightful. And if you've been involved in design thinking already, hopefully a little nugget of inspiration was found. So, fourth installment will be on 30th of March at 1:30 p.m. And if you haven't signed up already, sign up on Eventbrite. And if the experience was positive, tell your colleagues. And I've been Connor Slatcham, and thank you very much for your time.